So, something that I've said for a number of years now is that people's brains are wired differently. And that's pretty obvious. But what I mean in this context is that when it comes to um, liberals and conservatives, or the left versus the right, I think that people's brains are genuinely just wired differently. And that's why people end up in those different camps sort of naturally. Now, thanks to neuroplasticity and a willingness to confront our own biases, people can shift from one camp to the other and can change our minds and change our thoughts. And that's how I've ended up from one end to where I am now. Um, but by and large, I think that people's brains are just predisposed to one form of thinking versus another. And one way that I've also sort of noticed or observed this is in the mode of binary thinking, right? And one of the terms that has become more culturally prominent is non-binary, or people who are, you know, LGBTQ or other identifying. Conservatives think that there's a man and a woman, and that's pretty much it. And people with non binary identities, or who recognize non binary identities, typically land in the more left category, whereas people who see things in more black and white terms and less nuanced terms end up in the right leaning category. And I think that it plays out a lot in other areas, not just in gender identity and not just in general political camps, but also in a lot of, frankly, the Facebook posts I've been seeing lately, where a lot of conservatives are saying things like, oh, look at the liberals who shout no kings and then are suddenly against us bombing a place to depose a dictator. Like, you can't be against dictators and for dictators. But those are wildly different situations, and there's a lot of nuance between that. We can be against dictatorship at home and against fascism here in our home country, and also not be for spending money bombing another country or being coerced into a war by Israel or anybody else. So tell me what you think about that in the comments. If you watch this, if you give a shit. Um, yeah, I think we don't have to be so binary.